It's a losing strategy to make 10 books and not have a winner.
I'm curious, for these other 8 or 9 books that you created, how much profit did those books actually bring you?
You're gonna make me feel naked now.
That's Adrian Mahdian, a serial entrepreneur who ditched dropshipping for Amazon KDP and is now building a $1 million venture. In this episode, Adrian reveals the businesses that didn't work before Amazon KDP, what he did to grow and sell his first KDP business for over 270 grand, and his plan to build his current KDP business to over $1 million valuation in the next year or two. You'll also learn which major topic Adrian is convinced most publishers are getting wrong right now. He's hilarious, talented, and full of hidden gems, so I hope you'll enjoy it. And if you do, subscribe. Now, let's dive in.
Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm here today joined by my buddy Adrian, who is an absolute legend in his own right, and I'm stoked to have him on today. Adrian, where are you calling in from today?
I am in Estonia right now.
Estonia.
Yes, and I have lost my left ear to earwax because I was in a sauna. We were in a 3 degrees water, and then in the sauna something happened, and then like that thing stuck to my eardrum. So right now I can only hear you from this ear, but it's gonna be fixed. It's all good.
Well, amazing. Thank you for all that information. I'm glad we now know you intimately.
Yes, sir.
I'm so excited to have you on, bro, because guys, for context, he reached out to me a few months ago and he had already some success with KDP, but was like, "Hey, bro, I've heard your story. I need that next boost for my Q4, because if you guys have followed along with me, you'll know that Q4 is when I have the most success." So we worked together. We had a handful of coaching calls, Adrian and I was blown away by Adrian's skill level and speed to action. And the results speak for themselves, which you'll hear about today. So Adrian, before we get into, your December that just wrapped up here, I'd love to know where you kind of started in business, because a lot of people enter Amazon KDP expecting to be successful straight out the gate, and they don't realize that it usually takes a lot longer than you think. But if you come in with some business experience, it can fast track you. And that's what I've seen with you. You came in ready to roll. So tell us about your history with business before we get into the KDP side.
It all started when I was in Los Angeles, and I saw some of my friends started making money, and I knew that it was Corona times, and Los Angeles and all California just like closed down. And the only thing that interested me there, I realized, was the parties. Without the parties, I didn't feel at home. So I was like, shit, I gotta go back. I just wanted to make money. That's what I wanted to do. And then I was in Los Angeles, a student. I was at UCLA studying my master's like the last 6 months, just preparing my thesis. So there was Corona. I knew I had to go back. I knew like it's not my place at that moment. And my friend was doing e-commerce. I was like, bro, does this thing work? What is this thing called dropshipping? That's me verifying, by the way. So I got social proof, right? I'm just getting some social proof for this thing. And he was like, yeah, it works. I'm like, okay. So then I started dropshipping. And fast forward, I sold some like jellyfish slice or something, and I got a sale after weeks. I was the happiest. I have the video of that. You would think I'm on ecstasy. I never took ecstasy, but that's probably how they feel, And it was absolutely amazing how someone from Wyoming had ordered this jellyfish light from a Facebook ad. Then my Facebook ad account got banned, then some like Google account got banned I don't know why. In the end, I never understood. But those were amazing signs from the universe, from the God, that I needed to change direction. So went on, made a different shop, like a baby shop or something, and then made a website. Then I came onto print on demand because my friend had made money on that. So that was like Amazon print on demand, POD, right? For t-shirts.
For like t-shirts and things, yeah.
Yeah, so I made a Persian brand. It was called Classy Parsi, and I was making some good money with that. So basically, background is Persian, and well, not really, but let's say I understand the culture. So then I went into that. Then I started making like $50 a month or something, and that was profit because there was no ads, right? So I was like, that seems something. There's something there, right? Well, okay, dropshipping. I stopped with that because I felt like there was so much effort, and anyone could at any point just copy me just the way I copied someone else. If they're jellyfish light and found their supplier, that was the game. Find their supplier and sell it cheaper. It just didn't feel right. I felt like anyone can take my position. So I made this like classy Parsi, brand with pictures of different like beauties of Iran, because we have 4 seasons just like New York or whatever you wanna, compare it to. And then we had these designs, right? It was like the stupid designs, like traditional stuff, but with a modern twist, right? This one is saying, "Oh, I will die for your beautiful red eyes because you smoke weed and drink wine." Like it's not something.
Yeah.
It's not something you would expect, right? But it's sold.
And they're traditional Persian designs, but with modern and like almost surprising or shocking messages on them.
Something we had here, which was a mix of the Persian feminist movement, right? So
That's a cool one. I like that.
basically a copy of the American, but there's like something, So it was a fusion, and I saw that it started getting traction, and then I had an Etsy account, and it got banned. I was making around $500 to $600 a month, and that was like my first business, like starting to take off, and boom, gone. So then that sucked, and
your Etsy account was doing $500-600 a month in profit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just banned it. No.
And how long ago was this?
This was 4 years ago.
Okay.
4 years ago.
So you had started to see enough practice over the couple years, and then you actually had one shop that was showing you that you could make passive income. And then what happened?
I got banned, and Etsy was the biggest. Now I had still my Amazon, but it wasn't as strong as Etsy for some reason. And I had a feeling that I want to create more things that I can own. So this print on demand thing was good, but it was still not completely owned by me. If that I like ownership. I like to feel like I control things. I'm egoistic in that sense. But yeah, if I felt like anyone else can dropship, there is no competitive advantage. There's no moat, and there's nothing that I own. So then I stumbled upon KDP, and I was like, that sounds cool. Someone showed it to me. I looked at some courses. There was Dane Macbeth. That was like the original teacher that I learned from. And I had this course. I had this free course. He said too much in his free course, so he took the content out of his free course. But I still paid him, because I was like, you made me money. I have to pay you. Like, this is. So I tricked him. I told him, let me give you a coffee, and I sent him $500. He was like, fuck, man. I'm like, yep, dude, it's worth it. So yeah, he was a super cool guy. And then I don't know what happened to him. He went into photography. He made money. Has a wife now, probably. But that was kind of the start of KDP. So I did like low content, and with low content, I felt the same. Like, I don't own it. So I don't want to invest my time into something I don't own. So with the normal high content, you kind of own it, because you no one can really copy your book. Even though now I have like this, I have a cookbook which is like 5 ingredient. Now in my niche, there's like 7, 8 of them. They're trying to copy exactly the same thing, and Amazon doesn't reward that. Amazon does not reward copycats. If they improve your concept, maybe they would reward them, because consumers are buying more. But there's your sales history. There's so much we have going for us, and we have a copyright. So if it comes to it, I'll report these books. If they really copied me, and then I would have a case, hopefully, right? Because I have the copyright US copyright office. I still do that. So that's my useful advice number 1. I don't know. I know some people don't do it. I know some people do protect my work. I'll say one thing is, I've had so many accounts banned. I've had my first ACX account banned. I've had so much, and I didn't do anything wrong, in my opinion. I just got an email, oh, you're terminated. And I would say to you that if the time comes and there's 1% chance Amazon automated system or the person checking will only accept US Copyright Office proof, and you have protect my work or something else, I'm not saying this, to scare you, but I'm just saying this is what I do. I don't want to lose my account of my income because I try to save $60 here. This is my insurance policy. And now I might still get banned, but I did my best to not. And as we will talk about now, my account is worth way more than that.
Yeah,
so
this is great.
It's literally worth. Yeah. No, it's going to be like over $1 million very soon. And I cannot skimp on that. It just does not make sense. So yeah, the journey, again, go forward faster. I went into the herbal niche. I have some books in the herbal niche. They were like top selling. So drop shipping, there was then kind of print on demand. Then I got banned and stuff. Then I went into books, low content. I did some books, but then my real first book, I had gone through the course. I found the niche. I double checked it with Dane. I was like, does this make sense? The keyword, there's like 400 competitors. I remember there was 400 competitors. There was like 2 traditionally published books. So I didn't look if they're self-published and stuff. I still don't. If they're like books that are selling, I think I can beat them.
Mm-hmm.
And back then, my book had a title of 7 keywords, not more. And my book sold like crazy. So this is me coming and giving my biggest golden advice is don't care about keywords as much as you think you should. Your book should convert for that keyword. It does not mean it should have all the keywords inside. That's something like golden. No one talks about it. But I think it's important. I think it's more important today than it was before. Now, if you can do both, then great. Have a bunch of keywords. My original book had like 2 of the main keywords, and that's it. The rest was like people just liked the concept, and that's why some Germans call it the concept. Concept book, concept title, not the keyword title, concept title. So that's what I've done now with my last books, and it's continuing to work. I have a unique angle, unique concept, right?
So I think that brings us up to now. If I understand correctly, you were at UCLA, you had a buddy in drop shipping. You were like, hey, bro, does this work? And he said, yes, it does. And you sold 1 lamp before your Facebook account got banned. But that was enough for you because you were like, it can work. You can make money online. And that planted the seed for you to begin your Etsy shop, your Amazon print on demand. And then after that got banned, the Etsy shop, you decided you wanted something with more ownership, which led you to the KDP world. And the difference between KDP and print on demand is that the print on demand model it's commoditizable. Like anyone can kind of copy you very easily, as opposed to it's a higher moat with KDP for someone to copy and steal your concept.
Higher moat, exactly. And just to signify how higher moat, it's for the last book that I made, it's a $35,000 higher moat. Yeah. It's not 5,000 if you count with all the sales history that I have now. Anyone coming to my niche, they can try. I'm in the Christian niche. I mean, if they're willing to spend 40K and kind of have less profit than me, come in, bro. Like, I don't mind. It's just so much like investment for what? For like this much, because I already have the rank. I already sell so well. So how are they're going to have to spend weeks to make a cover that's better than mine? Like every step someone makes it better, it just gets harder, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I know some of the books you and my other friends have made, like they're so good. If that guy spent a month to make that, you need to spend 2 months, and maybe you can't even like improve it that much. Like once someone makes a good pepperoni pizza, it's gonna be hard to beat that pepperoni, man. Like you're gonna have to have your grandma come from like Sicily, in Italy, like bring all the imported, farm made, her own farms, like tomatoes with the sauces, with the salt from the sea of the Mediterranean, and then maybe you'll make it better with the traditional knowledge, like in somewhere in Vatican. Like how they made pizzas in the Roman times. Unless the pizza is really bad, which is easy because that's where we get into later. Something I learned from Toby is like, you look into niches where you see the content is not that great, but they're selling well. That's something that I learned from you, or let's say became more clear. So if something is bad, you can improve it easily. But then once it's improved, the next person is going to have a hard time improving upon you. That's what I feel. It's just so much more knowledge and depth that you have to understand the customer to make a better product. Okay, so I went into that business, made my first books. It got really well. I told myself, oh my God, I'm making like $500 first month. After first month, then I made 1,000, then I made 3,000, then I made 5,000. Like month 1, 2, 3, 4 with my herbal books. Mm-hmm. Then I made the second, third, fourth book. And at that point, my ACX account got banned. And I was making $1,000 a month with my audiobooks, with the herbal books. And I'm born in Tehran. I'm always afraid that shit is going to get banned. I was like, I cannot lose my KDP account. And imagine if I draw a very quick graph, you go down in KDP and you make a little money. And then if you're doing well, you go down even more because you're investing more. But then in a few months, that money is going to come back. So the thing is, because there's a delay, so let's say this is month 1, you invest $5,000. You make the book, you're investing in ads, and then month 4, you're getting some profit, just a little bit. Now you're like, okay, if this book is doing really good, and if you did a good job making an amazing book, now you're going to have to invest more than that. because your book is doing good. If you're not investing more, you're putting money on the table. So if you go down more, now you're going to go higher even. But the thing is, if you want to keep growing, you're just going to go deeper and deeper. Basically, you're not growing. You're just going deeper. And that's the best case, which is your book is amazing, but you're going deeper. So now there's two choices. One is to go even deeper, which at any point, if your Amazon account get banned, this is your zero. So you're going to get banned and be minus $50,000. And your business, if you're making, like, let's say this is $5K a month, your business is potentially worth $200,000. So not only you're losing the 5,000, 50,000 initial investment, and you're going to have to pay for that, you're also losing the total worth of the business. So that's the dilemma I was dealing with. The first time I got successful, I had 4 books, maybe around 10 published total with like all the editions and stuff. I just sold it, and I had like one buyer, and I kind of, was like, oh, I have other buyers. This is the last price I can go for, and something like that. And she had a herbal business, so she kind of went for it. I was happy. I got a 40x exit, and I was scared, man. I was really scared. Like, if I had balls of steel, maybe like our friend Donald Trump, maybe I would have kept it. But I just felt like, no. If I lost everything, I would not feel good. Like at that point, even if it made more money, because again, as I explained, you're just going deeper and deeper, unless you relax. And I'm not the guy to relax. I'm not going to just relax and start another business, or just chill for 3 years and get profit and then restart. That doesn't make sense. So I just had to sell it. So I sold it. And
makes sense. So you had, before your current KDP business, you owned a previous KDP business.
Exactly.
And that business, you exited that business strategically to use that cash flow to invest in your future business. And we've also talked about, you have real estate and stuff, which we won't have to get into now. But now you have a level of security. This is the way I see it. Tell me if you see otherwise. You took what you had, you sold it to gain a level of security that allowed you to become more dangerous moving forward confidently into the next things you wanted to try. So
that is.
So for example, this $35,000 experiment, as it were, this book that just gave you this great Q4, and now your business is going to be worth $1 million. Who knows how long? Maybe a year from now, maybe a little bit longer or shorter. Who knows? Hopefully shorter, right? That business exists because you had 35 grand to spend confidently on an educated guess that this was going to work. You fronted 5K to create the product, and then you started spending a bunch on reviews to get the product growing, and then you spent a bunch on ads going into December against a crowded niche where you weren't sure you had indicators, but you weren't sure that it was going to bring you a positive return, but you had a safety net, and that's why you sold the business in the first place. Is that accurate?
That is very accurate. I was scared, man. I was sweating every day. I was waking up to KDP emails, and I was like, is this the day? And even today, I feel like that. But the thing is that today, if I got banned, I got the emotional vaccines 4 years ago. It's a vaccine because it was small dose. I got banned on ACX. I got banned on these like small things, but not my big thing. And now, even though this is my big thing now, if I got banned, I feel like my destiny is so much bigger. And this destiny emotions goes up and down day by day, depends on how my mood is. But today, I feel like if I lost this, I'll build something else very fast and I'll scale it. And I'll learn and I'll try and fail. I've failed so many times. And I want to fail more. So yeah, I sold it to get the security because I couldn't bear the thought that I'm going to wake up one day, stripped naked. As Warren Buffett says, when the tides go down, we'll find out who's naked, Now, if the tides go down, I get banned. I'm not naked. I got some real estate. I'll sell them and I'll start the next business. So that's fine for me.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So let's talk about now that you've got your new KDP business. You started this business like a year ago or so, this new one?
This new one was 7 months ago, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. 7.
Okay. And you published pretty quickly. You published a winner, right? That cookbook you mentioned earlier.
Yes. So funny enough, I went together with some Italian guys. I'm not going to say names here because maybe it's not nice. Maybe they have improved, but they gave me the keyword. So thanks to them, they gave me the keyword. I was researching and they kind of helped me go to that. So they were nice guys, but then they were like, oh, we're going to make this book for you 100% handmade, handmade like Ferraris, but that was not a Ferrari. That was a complete, whatever they sell. what car do they sell? This maybe these bikes. I don't remember these bikes, which are, Vespa. That's what it is.
Vespa, yeah. They said it was a Ferrari, but it was a Vespa.
It was a Vespa, man. It was totally a Vespa. That was like AI 100%. I checked the calories. I like gym. I like to work out, so I know like a spoon of olive oil, that's like around 113 calories. And I told them, oh, there's too little calories. They added the olive oil, and then I checked it. It's like 200 calories, and there's like 3 spoons. It's like already the olive oil. I'm like, are you sure someone who's expert checked this? Yeah, for sure. Okay. And I keep checking. And by the way, this is something that pained me, and that's why I talk about it, because they told me, oh yeah, we'll produce it from start to finish. And then they were like, okay, so give us the outline. I'm like, all right, here's the outline. But you didn't say which recipes we should put in the book. Like, what?
So who's doing the work, right?
Yeah, I was like, but I'm doing the work. Like, if I'm gonna tell you the recipes, I can just as well put inside the book.
Yeah.
Like, I expected you, because you told me you have a person who, makes cookbooks. He knows the recipes, and he didn't. And that was an amazing lesson. Thanks to them, I understood. I made a mistake hiring them, and I lost $3,000 on that service. But again, I had the safety. It was not like my only money. I would not do this. And parallel to that, I started my own project, and I finished my own book, which is the winner, my first winner, within 1 month, completely with AI, but with my own knowledge background. I made some mathematical models. I made some Excel sheets. That's what I did, and calculated all the nutrition. And that book, I knew it's high quality. And the book that they gave me for $3,000 was complete crap, and it was late all the time. It was just, they never connected me to the real writer. Maybe they were afraid that I was gonna, like, steal the writer. Most likely there was no real writer. I think there was editors and not a real writer. So anyways, that was like some lesson there. And I also asked around which course to join, and people recommended Royalty Hero, my old people from 4 years ago. I was like, okay, listen, I invested, like $5,000, I think, in Royalty Hero, like a big chunk of money, right? But then again, since they had a guarantee, it's, why not, right?
Yeah.
And this worked for me before, and I knew that the biggest value for me, what do you think is the biggest value of joining a course like Royalty Hero?
The people. Yeah,
That's,
I mean, you can get 90% of the information you want from most courses on any subject. It's the professor at Harvard versus the professor at community college who changes the content so that you win with it.
100%. Yeah. That is so beautifully said. And that is exactly why I joined, because I thought I will talk to people and I will find the people inside the group. And that's how I found Toby, and I contacted Toby because, he was doing it, right? Like, yeah, as you said, everything can be found online. Everything. People cannot be found online. You cannot just like Google. This is like, that's the real difference there. So I joined, and I'm very happy I did. I think without that, I wouldn't be where I am today. I'm pretty sure, like 99%. So extremely thankful. Yeah.
That's awesome. So 7 months ago, and by the way, thank you. I feel the same way about you. It's been awesome becoming your friend, bro. 7 months ago, you started the new one. You had that experience, $3,000 loss, and then you started your own book where you put your heart and soul into it. That book started cash flowing, and then you decided, surprisingly, after we spoke with one another, you were guys, like, people don't realize Adrian is an animal when it comes to book production. He's like, I'm producing 10 books this month or something like that when we first talked. And I was like, hold on. Why? And as we peeled back the layers, we kind of decided that with your current amount of cash on hand that you had and the opportunity of Q4 coming up, the best way to have positive cash for 2026 at the turn of the new year was to do something different than what you had planned. And maybe you can take it over from here, kind of give us like a 3 to 4 minute synopsis of what has actually happened since, say, October to now, Q4. And then afterwards, we'll wrap with some of your takeaways and advice for publishers.
I had my first book did well, and that was a properly researched keyword, stuff. And then I watched more of, a few guys in the group course, like Charlie's, and he's right. He was saying, look at the BSR, not the keyword only, not the. And I as Peter says, another guy who is in a different community is a leader in his own
Really?
need. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
He's saying something of this concept of feeling like we got the golden pants and everything we touch is the golden, we think we're the Midas. And that's how I felt. I was like, oh, I just made this book, my first book again. So this, by the way, one other reason I sold my first business.
Hey guys, it's Toby, and if you feel stuck in your KDP business and need someone to help you get unstuck, then great, because I just opened up 2 new coaching spots for Q1 of 2026, and you can apply at the link below. Now, it's not first come, first serve. In fact, I'm actually very selective with who I work with because as a Royalty Hero Elite coach, I realize not everyone is the best fit for coaching. It can be a waste of your money and a waste of my time if we're not aligned. Being in the space for 4 years and coaching a ton of people, I can probably help you pretty darn quick. So if you're interested in starting the new year off with a bang, then apply below, because entrepreneurship is better together, and let's get you growing. Back to the show.
I wasn't confident in myself that I could create more books that are going to be winners. That's very important because I felt like it's herbal niche, it's medicine niche, it's the corona, so it's selling. I thought it might not sell as well in the future. I was wrong, which is great. That person who bought it, they made their money back most likely and more. And I felt like it was just luck. So it was that imposter syndrome. Now, this time around, when I produced the second book with the help of all these people, like Josiah gave amazing feedback on the cover. Like he's a master of, he has educated himself a lot on the covers. And with his help, I, continue to improve that with the coaching calls. So yeah, people go ahead, buy it now if you want to get good at this. Then I felt like, oh, I got the golden pants. Now I can make anything that's going to sell. And I did, and it didn't. So I got the confidence boost, like, oh, I can make books again, even though that was my last business like 3 years ago. And I went to the real estate. I lost some money, made some money, bought real estate in different countries, wanted to develop some land and build some houses, which I'll do in the future, but I put a pause on that for now. And what happened is I made 8 books in the Christian niche, and it was pretty okay researched, but I just didn't realize what it takes to win. It takes everything to win. It takes you cannot be number 2, in my opinion. You got to go for number 1. And okay, you might make money as number 2, but you just got to go for number 1. In those cases, I just saw one book and it has certain BSR and I didn't know what I was doing really. I just made some covers and, that's when we had the calls, right? I was telling you I released these books, or I was planning or something. I told you I'll give you the results later, right? And it showed me I cannot just move. I need to improve quality and launch strategy. So that is when I released the 10 books, and I had some books which, was a Christian niche mixed with something else. Let's say if it's whatever, candle making, I would make a candle making for Christians. It makes sense, right? Some people are going to like that. They think it's maybe connected to the tradition or something. So that made sense. And also I wanted to go away from my original niche because the original niche felt far away from me. Meanwhile, the Christian niche feels more fun for me because I actually feel like it's useful for me to learn more. And that makes me more happy to now create Christian books for teens, which I believe is amazing that I get to have an influence on how guys should be more manly, disciplined, and, treat their neighbors well, and, do the things that Christianity teaches, right? So that's also important because I wanted to be in a niche which I feel more connected to, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I'm still gonna do, cookbooks as I have, but I'm gonna focus more on this. So yeah, coming back into this, I learned that I'm going too fast. I'm releasing too many books, and some of them make money, but it was low quality. I thought it was high quality, but compared to the competition, it was not, and I saw that. The cover wasn't amazing, and again, if you have a true winner, you just can't survive with $1,000. If you have a true winner, you need to put 10,000, and that's the moment me and with Toby, I realized it's a losing strategy to make 10 books and not have a winner. And if you have a winner, anyways, you won't have the budget for 10 books. Because that winner, as I had in, December now, I spent $25,000 in the second month of launch on that winner. If you have a true winner, you just won't have the budget unless you have $300,000 sitting there, right?
Yeah.
But then your attention is the real thing that's going to go to 2-3 projects, and then maybe they're not going to be winners, because it doesn't take just the quality of the book to be a winner. It takes the cover, it takes the testing, it takes the concept, it takes the A plus, it takes all of these things you need to make, in my opinion, to become truly competitive. And then ads, mastering ads. And now I did my ads before, I had some experience, so I understood like I need to get someone who is. So now I have an agency I work with, so they do good ads. Now if they leave me, I'm gonna be sad, and I'm gonna have to struggle for a few months. That's gonna be sad. But anyways,
You had, was it actually 10 books or 8 books? What was it that you were
yeah,
producing at the time?
it was like 8 to 9 books. Yeah.
And each of them were like, you were putting like $1,000 maybe into the production and launch of it. You were just like throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what was going to stick. But you then pivoted to make just one book that was actually the one that succeeded this Q4. I'm curious, for these other 8 or 9 books that you created, how much profit did those books actually bring you?
Good question. You're gonna make me feel naked now, but it's true.
The tide is going down. Warren Buffett was right.
Yeah. I'm all naked. I'm gonna take this off now. But no, I'm negative on those. Like one of those books made some money, but overall I'm negative. Like those books have not made a profit. And funny enough, if someone else who doesn't understand how this system works, if you look at those books, those are actually the Christian ones. They are, in my opinion, high quality, or even better storytelling, better connection to the Bible, better cover, right? It's not just that. That's the thing. It's just there's more to this. There's about history. There's about, maybe there's also even something more macro. Like, let's say there's a bubble of people who are, let's just say, Christian nurses, or people who know Christian nurses. Okay, if you make a Christian nurses devotional, let's just call it that. If you're the first and your book takes off for 2 years, maybe 70% of the market, maybe I'm wrong, you can correct me here, 70% of the market have at least seen the concept, and maybe some of them have already bought, and that book went crazy and it ranked. Now, if you're coming at number 2 after 1 year or something, maybe it's going to be harder, because many people have seen that and they have fulfilled that need. Now there's going to be newcomers, right? Like new buyers into the market, because people age, there's new nurses and stuff. But like that big advantage was like maybe taken away. Anyways, so that was one thought there. And
so you were coming in with a bunch of books that were kind of copycats of other books, and you had good books. Like, to be honest, guys, I've seen the books. They're probably better quality than like 80% of publishers make. But you were copying, didn't have a unique selling point, and you didn't give them the firepower they needed to have the chance to succeed, because you weren't running heavy ads on them. So you were chasing 9 rabbits at a time and catching none.
Exactly. That is exactly what happened.
So then we had our talks together, and what changed for you? Tell us about the book that took off.
Yes, so we had our talks, and I realized what I was trying to do is mimic a testing of the market, because in my mind was, if I do this 10 and then one of them takes off, then I'll put more money into that. Makes sense. Now that's when you're testing experimental things, not things that already exist. And why am I saying this? Because I realized the fallacy of my thinking literally after talking to Toby. I'm like, wait, Toby, I am one person trying to publish 10 books and see what hits. Isn't the tool for that? There are thousands of publishers publishing things, and I can literally see like which of them are doing good, and I can just take that, Isn't that crazy? Like, I was doing the tests, copycats, and I could literally look at niches today as simple as searching. And if there are 2 books doing good in that niche, that's exactly what my test was trying to do. Like, is there demand for this niche? That's what the keyword research does, I don't know what was in my mind. But yeah, those books were good. I basically thought, if I make a better cover and a slightly better angle, those books are going to take off. And it showed me, no, it doesn't work like that. People want something fresh. People want something beautiful. They want something nice. They want to give to their family, to their children. They want to bless them with all the love that they have in their beautiful hearts. They cannot do that with a, slightly better book than something that has more reviews, more, you know, just, yeah, I guess just reviews even, right? They cannot bless fully. So as a gift, we need to be much better than the competition.
Okay, and then what was December actually like for you once you had changed your strategy?
Oh, okay, I did my keyword research. We went back and forth with Toby. So I knew that this niche already works. I knew there's demand, and now it was my job to go and create a unique selling angle. That was my job, and I went into it. It is as basic as that, but then once I launched, I got immediately a conversion rate of 8%. 8% was my starting. I was like, not bad. I can probably take it to 10. Week 2, 3, 15%. I was like, whoa, this can make some money, right? I told my agency, fuel it, go harder, 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 harder. I'm pushing money. I loaned $10,000 from a friend at the end. I was like, dude, give me money. I'll pay you back $600 on top of the $10,000 he's gonna give me. So yeah, so we peeled it, and in the end, I had about a conversion rate of something that Toby told me, 30%. And by the end of everything, now this money is not in my hands. I'm still a poor guy trying to get Wizz Air, Ryanair flights, but at the end, I'll be making around, for December, we are at $23,000.
Amazing. Yeah. And in net royalties?
After ad costs. It's a good start.
Yeah, that's phenomenal, bro. And what was the top line, just for people to understand what you spent on ads?
I spent $20,000.
Okay, so total your dashboard looks like what, 43,000 or so?
50,000.
And then 50,000, and then 23 you said was in net?
23 net.
Okay, very cool, bro.
Yeah. That is
and how much of that came from the one book that you just launched like a couple months ago?
So that one book basically made 95% of all of the profit.
Clutch.
90%, I would say, yeah.
Okay, so what was most useful for you experiencing this December the way you did? What was most useful for you living it?
I can see that the fundamentals work. Now, I'm scared because my goal now is to reach $300,000 profit per month on average. And I don't know if it's the same model. I just have to repeat. It could be that. I have some doubts, but it could be that. So the biggest thing I learned now is that I need to keep learning. I need to keep applying myself and testing stuff. I need to keep connecting with people who I feel like care for a better future for both of us, right? That's something that I learned because I had consultations with a few different people, and I felt like Toby understood where I'm coming from, or tried to. So that's some of the lessons. And of course, probably what you're expecting, and it's correct. Like, it's possible. It's possible. And I never had a Q4 like this, guys. My last business, it was doing like 20% extra in Q4. So if I was making $8,000 net, $10,000 was December. This is not the same. This went like crazy. So I'm very happy about that. I know it's possible. And I think by releasing more quality products and just jumping on the right trends and making the right products, I think we can get to bigger numbers, and anyone can do it. Honestly, anyone with the right mindset can learn to do this. Maybe not in one day, but in a few months, in a few years.
Yeah. That's awesome, bro. I love your story, and I'm excited to keep walking with you through the rest of 2026 and beyond. And we'll close with a question about 2026. I would love to know, you want to get to 300,000 a month. I assume net is what you're saying, yeah?
Yeah.
300,000 net a month on average over a 12-month span. I am curious for you, 2026, you're probably not trying to get rich quick. You want to build something that's going to last. Not do 10 crappy books a month, but maybe you can build an infrastructure to get 10 great books a month, right? And the cash flow to do that. So what's your vision for 2026? What's different about last year versus this year to come?
Now the true thing is, what I learned from this book, I need to apply it, as you said, to the next books, right? Now it's going to be slightly different, but as you said, if we have the right infrastructure to scale quality, then I think I could do it. So I have a plan now. I'm not sure if I'm gonna reach $300,000 profit by the end of next year. I'm not sure. But my plan is now to learn TikTok, and it's basically, I can say every TikTok video is as hard as creating 2 books for me. It's extremely hard. It has so many more angles, emotional, what to show, what to not show, like just music, vibe, like emotions, where it's very difficult, right? Production takes energy and stuff. So, but TikTok is a focus right now. And I'm reaching out to affiliates. I'm doing some videos myself. So that's a focus which I think can push me because it's an engine. It's an engine of marketing. That's what it is. It's nothing else, right? It's a marketing engine. So I think I'm going to do TikTok. I'm going to release around 30 books this year. So I released 10 books in 1 month last year. And I knew that that's not going to work. Now this year is still ambitious to release 3 books a month. But I believe I can do them quality and launch them correctly. And I'll try my best. So if I see that it's too much, I'm gonna go down. Maybe 1 book a month, maybe 1 book every 2 months. So we'll have to see. But now I'm just gonna again try to bring the systems up. So I'm gonna release more books. Now, what I'm gonna do slightly differently now, I'm gonna kinda not go into niches which is not connected to mine. This is my this year's plan. So I'm not sure if this is smart or not, because usually you just go into any niche. But I was thinking, since I want to be the winner, the go-to in my brand, in the Christian brand, I want to be the number one in the books that I'm making. I cannot jump between niches now. I need to double down. And I think this is going to make the brand stronger in the end. Even though I might make less money faster, I think this is the right move, in my opinion. So I'm going to make more books in the same niches. I'm going to make TikTok videos. And I'm also going to try some back-end offers, some community. I was thinking maybe Christian parents would be willing to pay $10 to enter an exclusive community of people who also read those books. I think it's possible. We'll see in practice. Yeah, those are the 3 engines of growth, I think, and I believe the proven one is making books. Then the one that I have not proven myself is TikTok, and the last one I definitely don't have proof. So this one has proof. This one has more potential, less proof. This one has no proof, amazing potential. So I don't know how to split my time. This is the biggest question. And I also need to hire people. This is the biggest thing that I think I'm going to work with Toby because of his limitations. I think this is the biggest gift to Toby and the biggest, challenge. And I want to learn because I'm spending 8 hours a day on my business and Toby's spending probably 2 hours a day. And he's getting better results than all of us. So I think we need to learn. I need to learn.
Bro, thank you for being on here. And if people, I don't know if you have a way for people to stay in touch with you. I don't know if you're offering anything right now, but if people want to stay in touch with you or your journey, what would be the best place for them to follow you?
I don't have an active place right now. I am inside of the communities in school of Royalty Hero, right? And I also have a Facebook, so people can find me, Adrian Mahdian. So that is Mahdian. People, you can message me.
I'll pin a comment of yours if people need more information from you.
But let's do it. Let's put my email. I'll give you my email, and then you can put it there. Yeah.
Cool.
That's it.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate your time. I'll catch you later.
Catch you later. Bye-bye.